It was summer. Me and my family decided to go to our summer cabin as we always do for the past 7 years. We love our 2-story cabin because we built it specially the way we want it. And the surrounding was nice too, located inside the forest but just 2 minutes walk away to the lake and 5 minutes walk away to the nearest neighbor. My kids love the cabin and the neighbors 'cause they've got kids too. We would go fishing, trekking, hunting rabbits, barbecuing, and sometimes we invite and get invited by the neighboring cabins. When we arrived at the cabin, the kids were ecstatic and stormed inside the cabin. My wife opened up the doors and windows to let fresh air come in, did some cleaning, while I started unloading our supplies and equipment. 2 hours later, a sheriff SUV came up in front of our cabin. I wonder what brought them here. I approached and greeted the officers who came out from the car. One of them said he has something to inform us, as well as all the other cabins in the area. 3 months ago there was a murder in the forest not far from our cabin. The victim was a female and it was a gruesome murder. The body was found and were taken away by the coroner. The officers declined to tell me the exact location of the murder. They only said that the murder scene had been thoroughly cleaned. However, the officers told us if we happened to stumble on mysterious things or personal belongings, do not touch the items and immediately inform them. I said will do. The officers left, and I briefed my wife everything the officers told me. My wife was worried because the murder scene was said to be near our cabin. To the kids, well, I just left out the murder part. The rest of the day and evening was all fun. We enjoyed it. At night everyone slept like a baby. The next day, we went trekking around cabin, and that's when I was a little bit on guard. I tried not to imagine the location of the murder or find something creepy. Thankfully, nothing weird happened. The day was so enjoyable it seems to pass by so fast. After dinner while my wife was washing the dishes, me and my kids were hanging around in the living room. A while later, we suddenly heard a loud thump on the ceiling of the living room. Everyone were surprised and looked up at the ceiling. I told the kids that it was nothing and we went back to what we were doing. Soon after, another loud thump, and then what seemed like heavy footsteps. It was from the second floor. My kids were scared and ran to me on the sofa. I told them not to worry and stay on the sofa. I went to the kitchen and saw my wife still doing the cleaning. Obviously she didn't hear the sound. I told her what happened and I'm going upstairs to take a look. In the meantime I told my wife to stay with the kids. I took a large kitchen knife and then slowly went upstairs. At the second floor corridor, there was nothing suspicious. I checked all the bedrooms, bathrooms, closets and windows. Nothing. My wife was calling to check on me. I told her that I'm coming down. As I headed to the stairs, I noticed that 2 decorative photo frames on the wall were crooked. Now, that was suspicious. No one in my family would purposely make these photo frames crooked. But I decided not to think too much about it and repositioned the frames. As I was repositioning the last frame, I saw a reflection from the glass of the frame, someone standing in the corridor. I quickly turned around. No one was there. I quickly checked all the rooms once again. Nothing. My wife called me again. I replied and quickly went downstairs. As I was walking downstairs, I noticed no one was talking. The kids must still be scared by now, so when I reached the living room I put up a smile on my face and told them that there's nothing to worry upstairs. I successfully changed the mood in the living room and everyone was relaxed again. My wife went back to the kitchen to continue with the cleaning. When it was time to sleep, I asked the kids if they want to sleep with their mom and dad, and they joyfully cheered. My wife looked at me with a surprised smile, because I have never done that before. Actually, I was a little uncomfortable with the thumping and footstep sound. So I thought getting the kids in one room with me and my wife for the night would be a good idea. The four of us cuddled in one bed. The bed was wide enough and the kids were small enough, so yeah, it was fun. In the middle of the night, I was awakened by a loud sound from downstairs. It sounded like several cooking pans fell on the floor. My wife was awakened too, but the kids were not. I whispered to my wife whether or not she has put the pans properly. She said all pans were in the cabinet. I decided to go downstairs and check on it. As I was walking towards the stairs, I noticed that I've left the kitchen knife on the corridor table when I was fixing the crooked photo frames. I grabbed the knife and slowly went downstairs to the kitchen. Before we went to bed, I've left all lights on the first floor turned on. Something I've never done before. But since I've found the photo frames were mysteriously crooked, I was uneasy. When I arrived in front of the kitchen, I saw one cabinet door was open and the pans were all over the floor. I turned my head towards the living room. No one was there. The doors and windows seemed shut. I quickly checked the kitchen windows and they were locked. I quickly moved to the living room and closely checked the doors and windows. They too were locked. Then, I heard a bang from upstairs. I called my wife while rushing to the stairs. She didn't reply. Halfway at the stairs, I called her again. This time, she replied that she's in the kids' bedroom. And she also said that someone else was there. When I reached in front of the kids' bedroom, I saw my wife and someone or something else in there. My wife was standing on the far corner of the room near the windows while that thing was standing across the bedroom door. My wife looked terrified as she was facing that thing. She saw me in front of the bedroom. I entered the room slowly and gave my wife a hand signal telling her to go towards the door. As my wife slowly walked towards the bedroom door, the thing kept looking at her. When my wife was close to me, the thing looked at me too. I then whispered to my wife that we're moving out now. Wake up the kids, grab the car key, phones, wallet and purse, and get in the car. While my wife quickly did as I say, I stayed in front of the kids' bedroom keeping an eye on that thing. I held the kitchen knife behind my back because I don't want to provoke anything. That moment was also the chance for me to get a good look at that thing. I think it's a ghost. It was a female, fully naked with long dirty hair. Her skin was dirty gray with stains of blood that had ran down all over her face and body. Lots of blood stains on her. And she has no eyeballs. It was a gruesome sight. I then thought about the murder that happened 3 months ago near our cabin. Could it be her spirit? I don't know. But I thought I've seen enough, so I closed the door because I didn't want my kids to see her. I went to the main bedroom and helped my wife with the evacuation. The kids were asking questions and they know from our behavior something was wrong. But we managed to calm them. Finally, we got into our car and drove off from our cabin to the nearest hotel. In the morning, I went back to my cabin with the sheriff and his deputy. I took the rest our belongings, left the doors open for the investigators, and didn't come back for the rest of the summer.
Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel, Souls Around You, and thank you for listening to our horror stories. We have more stories in our channel, so if you like it, please subscribe and press the like button. Your subscription and likes are very rewarding for us.